phrase of a song written by AI. Panther, panther, creeping low. My first graders would sing that, and that should make every music teacher curious. I have a master's in music education, and I teach with the Kodály approach, and I have some opinions about the way songs make it into my classroom. So I gave AI 3 chances to write folk songs for my first graders, from a lazy one-line prompt to a full teacher-guided workflow. And I graded every attempt against the same standards I use for real repertoire. One of these results genuinely surprised me. Let's go! I've created a 5-point rubric on whether the repertoire will be something that I would use in my classroom. The first category is range and tone set. Is it singable by first grade voices? Second is rhythm. Is it only ta, tt, and quarter rest? And do the words make sense with the rhythm? The third is form and phrasing. Are they 4-beat phrases, and is it kind of repetitious that kids need in a song? 4, how singable is it? Can I sing it cold? And 5 is the folk character. Does this song feel like actual children would sing it, or does it feel manufactured? An example piece of repertoire that I could use for this rubric is See the Old Witch. So it goes, see the old witch, fell in a ditch, found a penny and thought she was rich. The range and tone is perfect for first graders. It only has so me, but if I was looking for law, this wouldn't work as well because there is no law inside of it. This only has ta, tt, and quarter rest as well, and it works with the way that English flows. For form, it works really well because it is quite repetitious and it is only 2 longer phrases. For singability, I can sing it cold no problem, and it's pretty easy for me. And as for folk character, students would sing a song about a witch during Halloween time, and this would be a very good folk tale that they would probably sing about. So I think that this is really like living repertoire. I'm going to grade each section 1 through 5, and then I'm going to add them up for an A, B, C, D, and F kind of grading system like we do in school. I would give See the Old Witch an A. In a Kodály classroom, repertoire isn't decoration, it's the curriculum. Every concept my students learn is hiding inside a song they already love, so the bar is high on purpose. I wanted to do this experiment because I like to use AI tools all the time, and that's why I wanted to know where the line is. The first prompt I wrote was write a folk song for first graders. Very, very plain and simple. And it came back with a folk song for first graders, but it mentioned to me to sing the song like She'll Be Comin' Round the Mountain. I didn't understand how to put the words that it gave to She'll Be Coming Round the Mountain. So it never gave me any kind of staff notation or solfege within it, so I asked it then, can you write this in staff notation? It engraved the first phrase, and then it didn't really make sense to me how all of the words went to each for each phrase, how the words went to the notes. So I had it write in the musical notation for all 4 verses. And this is the song that it gave. It is called The Little Seed, a folk song for first graders. I put a little seed down in the ground. I put a little seed down in the ground. Gave it water, gave it sun, now the growing has begun. I put a little seed down in the ground. And it's 4 different verses, as you can see on the screen. But something that I really didn't like is the fact that on verse 4, it says to slow down at the end and shout the last line. I don't particularly think that that's necessary for this song. It doesn't really make sense to scream seed down in the ground, like flowers dropping a seed down in the ground. So for the rubric, I decided to give range and tone set, the first section, a 2, because this is semi-singable for a first grader, but I wanted so, me, and la to be the solfege that we use and not anything else. And this had do through la in it, so I gave it a 2 because it was technically singable, but not what I wanted. Same with rhythm. it had half notes in it, which is technically something a first grader could do okay, but that's not the rhythm that I wanted, so I gave it a 2. For form and phrasing, this is a fairly long song with long phrases. It gave 2 repeating phrases, which I did like, and so that's good, but I just think they're a little bit too long. So I gave it a 2 for that one. Singability, as you heard when I got to the 6th measure, I had a little bit of trouble with the going from so to re. It's just an interval that I don't sing super often, so I had to think about it a little bit more, so it wasn't a cold read for me. So I'm giving it a 1 for that reason. For folk character, I actually gave it a 4 because other than the screaming of the yelling at the end, it is telling a story about a flower and the seed that it grows from. So it's possible that children would actually sing this song as a piece of repertoire. So I'm giving this song an 11, which is a D. Round 3 is where things got weird. Stay with me. The second time with AI, I write a folk song for the first grade elementary music classroom. This song should have solfege syllables of so, me, and la, only the rhythm syllables of ta, tt, and quarter rest, 4-beat phrases, a game or movement with it, and make it about a panther animal. Here is the first iteration of Panther in the Night. Panther, panther, creeping low, soft black patty paws. Panther, panther in the night, hide. And then it doesn't give me phrase 4. Oh, and then it does later. Okay, sorry. And then it says, hide before she sees. All right, so that was a little bit weird. For this one, I would rank range and tone set to be a 4 because it is only so, me, and la, but there are some jumps and intervals in there that are a little bit weird. Rhythm, I give it a 5 because it gave me all tas, tts, and quarter rests. Now for the form and phrasing part, I gave it a 1 because 2 of the phrases were in 4-beat phrases. 2 of them were in 5-beat phrases, which is not what I asked for. So that was a fail. And then for singability, I would have called it singable more so if I was actually able to see the 4th phrase right away. But for some reason, it just was like, oh, I made a mistake. And then it showed the next part later. So I'm giving that a 3. For folk character, I'm giving it a 5. It is about a panther, and kids might sing about a panther. So that makes sense to me. So total, this one actually got a B. I was shocked by this, for real. I didn't expect it to rank this high. AI follows the constraints you name. It cannot supply the standards you didn't know to ask for. That's the whole difference between a tool and a teacher. For the 3rd round, I used prompting to fix Panther in the Night. So the first thing I asked Claude AI to do was phrase 2 and 4 have 5 beats total instead of 4. Can you fix this song so all phrases only have 4 beats? So it said good catch and it fixed it. Then it asks, do you want me to notate this on the staff or adjust anything else? I said, yes, notate this on a staff and separately make this into stick notation with the words written below the sticks and the solfege syllables beneath as well. I want the solfege to be above the words. It went and did that, and then it made notation in both staff and stick notation, which was awesome because that is what I asked it to do. So, a little bit after, I decided to change a little bit that measure 6 should be the same solfege as measure 2. I thought it was a little bit weird the way it was originally. So it said done, and it changed it, and it gave me the stick and staff notation. So later I asked if it can produce me an AI audio rendering of the song, and it gave me an MP3 of it kind of going, woo, like that kind of sound. And it allowed me to hear what it would sound like melodically. Here is the final iteration of Panther in the Night. Panther, panther, creeping low, soft patty paws. Panther, panther, in the night, hide away now. I graded this, and for range and tone set, I gave it a 5 because it gave me so, me, and law, which is what I needed, and none of the intervals were too weird. For rhythm, I asked for ta, tt, and quarter rest, and that is what it gave me, so I gave it a 5. With the fix of the phrase from round 2, I ended up making it so that way they were all 4-beat phrases, and it had repetition in it, so I really liked that, so I gave that a 5. I was able to sing it nice and cold, real easy, singable, so I gave that a 5. And once again, I'm going to give this the same folk character because children could be singing about a panther, about it being at night and trying to get away from it. So I think this makes sense. So I gave all categories a 5, which means that this one got an A. I would actually use this in my classroom. I'm really shocked by what AI was able to make, actually, from just me giving it a little bit of prompting. Even with very lazy prompting, AI seemed very good at taking that folk idea and being able to turn it into a song, which I think was really cool. What it fell short on sometimes were the specifics. If I'm looking for a very specific thing that I'm going to be teaching my students, I want to make sure that that song is full of it or it has good phrases that I can extract that idea from. That wasn't exactly as great until I did a little bit more prompting with the AI, making it fix it. So, folk repertoire is folk because it survived generations of children actually singing it. The selection process is one thing a model can't shortcut. Songs on our lists have earned their places. Would I use AI-written songs as core repertoire? I don't think so. Would I use AI in my planning workflow? Of course, I would. Here's the line that I draw. I don't think that finding folk songs that are written by AI is as human as it is to find songs that we hear and are able to get from different music teachers around. But I think it can be good practice material that we can use for newer practice, so that way we are introducing new things to students, but they aren't our main curriculum. If you're a music teacher and you draw the line somewhere else, tell me in the comments. I actually want to know. If you want to see the repertoire that does make my list, the 10 songs I used to teach ta and tt, including the story about the green tea plants, that full video is right here, and the free toolkit that goes with it is in the description. I'm Alexis, a treble teacher. I make videos about Kodály-based teaching and honest tests of AI tools for music educators. And if that combination sounds useful, subscribe. There's a lot more coming. Tell me in the comments, what's the one standard a song has to meet before it earns a spot in your classroom? See you in the next one.